Welcome to the Big Success Show. In this episode, how to be a success today.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Big success is a destination. You create a vision of the life you want, and then you start driving to it. But that's not all there is to it. And we're going to talk about that on today's show. Hi, I'm George the Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. Because big success isn't just a destination. It's
Exactly.
also a journey that takes you to your destination. Hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year. You get the point?
I'm getting the point, Mary-Lynn.
It is a journey. And you strive for big success with each step. But more specifically, you push to get to that next milestone.
But let's face it, it can be challenging to get from where you are to where you want to be.
And just as I was just listing hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, you've really got to be willing to stick with it.
Yeah, because along the way, you're going to face all kinds of emotions, right? It's challenging to get from where you are to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. You're going to experience frustration at times, stress, doubt, fear. But just so you know, I'm not a negative Nelly. Joy, confidence, they're all part of the journey to big success.
It's a roller coaster.
Exactly right. And the ups are easy. You can do no wrong. You are invincible. The world is your oyster. But in those down times, well, the only easy thing is quitting.
Well, you definitely contemplate it. But here's the thing. Quitting isn't easy because you have to live with it for the rest of your life. If you do quit, and you're a big goal getter, you're not going to do that. You'll wonder what might have been, and you just cannot bear the thought of that.
Yeah, it's the reason you're an entrepreneur.
Or at least think like an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, because failure was acceptable. You were willing to fail, but just the thought of not trying, just the thought of not going for it, caused that feeling that none of us like in the pit of our stomachs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was scary to go for it, right? People said you wouldn't make it.
Yeah, but you didn't care. You had to go for it. You had to try. You could feel in the depths of your soul that you were put on this earth to do something special. And by gosh and by golly, you were going to do it.
Oh, by gosh, by golly. But going back here to this entrepreneurial journey. So here you are. By gosh, by golly. You went for it, and you did. And you know what? Here you are. Your head's up against a wall because it's a bad day and it sucked again. And you feel like you've been hit by a truck. You're exhausted. You're discouraged. And boy, now it's getting even easier, that idea of giving up. But you're just not going to do it.
No, you're not, because you're a big goal-getter, and that's big with 2 G's.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So you have to see this thing through, because it is what you were meant to do.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that if you're on the losing end of a deal that you just stick with the losing end of the deal.
No, we're not saying that.
You know, because as a big goal-getter, that entrepreneur mindset, you're not going to give up. But it may mean that you have to shift. It may mean that you have to change. You're willing to go through the pain of doing that because you can't just stop. And you realize something important. You already are a big success.
That's so important to understand.
How far you've come.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you keep pushing.
Right.
And the fact that as you had that long list up front, Mary-Lynn, I can't remember what all it, but it went from hour to hour to week by week to day by day.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't in order, but that's okay. But I mean, the point is, we talked about this is how to be a big success today, right? That's what this show's about. Well, that's so important, is to realize that you can walk away from every single day a winner, a big success.
And look, you can't control the result. We've learned that. I mean, you can and you can't. I mean, you strive to make results be a certain way, but you can't control things as much as you'd like to.
But you can always control your response, right?
Right. But also your activity, what you do.
Exactly.
And today, just like yesterday and every day before, you're giving it everything that you have, so you are a big success.
Because as George Moriarty said, now he was a Major League Baseball player, coach,
manager,
perhaps pundit, outspoken guy, and he had this great quote: "Who can ask more of a man than giving all within his span? Giving all, it seems to me, is not so far from victory.
Yes. That's such a great quote. And then it hits you. The victory is in the challenge.
Yeah. And sure, big success is a destination, but it's also a journey. And every single day, you're learning new things. You're developing new skills. It's growth. One of the 5 elements of big success, along with money, time, work, and play.
Right. And money and time are your 2 resources. Work and play are your 2 opportunities. And then growth bridges the chasm. So let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for the power of growth.
Growth starts as an opportunity. Capitalize on it, and growth becomes a resource to help you spiral upward to big success.
Ooh, so words of wisdom on the professor's whiteboard here. So let's break that down.
Okay.
Growth starts as an opportunity.
Yeah, and you have to capitalize on that opportunity. If you do, you're going to grow. By growing, by gaining new knowledge, new insight, by adding skills and experience, you develop the skills that you need to get past any problem, any obstacle you may face.
So when you've set a course, you're on that journey, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Each step that you take, you're learning something more. That's growth, and that provides opportunity.
Yes, and I always like to think of this, Mary-Lynn. I say it's the intersection of what you know and what you don't know. You're pushing yourself out there to your boundaries, and by doing that, you're growing. By doing that, you're able to solve problems you weren't able to solve yesterday, and that's why you're able to spiral upward to big success.
Right. And then the second part in your words of wisdom here on the whiteboard is that growth becomes a resource.
Yeah, because I think this is so important to understand. It took me a long time to realize this, but there's an old survivalist saying, the more you know, the less you need. And that's what we're saying here. Growth becomes a resource. You know, you're able to do things in less time, for example, or you're able to do things with less money. You've got knowledge that other people don't have. You've got insights that they haven't realized yet. And so you're discovering how to overcome any problem, but you're also learning how to triumph over every problem you will ever face. And that means, yes, today. On this day, you can be a big success. You will be a big success. Go get them.
Yes, you are a big success.
Amen.
All right. You're looking to grow in certain areas of your life? Our Life Purpose Quiz can help. It's free, and you'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com.
We thank you for listening today. We also want to send a special shout out to our listeners in Austin, Texas.
Join us next time. We're going to share 5 ways to get the recognition you deserve. Until then,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at BIGGsuccess.com.